Today we're talking about the number 7 in someone's soul contract chart. A 7 is a master number, so that means it's very powerful either to the positive side or the negative side. So if it's in a karmic area of yours, it's going to be challenging to overcome. It could show up as a 7-7 or a 16-7. And it's all about Gemini energy. So Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury is important in this because some of the characteristics of Mercury is that it's adaptable, very intellectual, it represents speech, and also it's a fast moving planet, and so it encounters other planets frequently. And every time it encounters another planet, it changes its personality based on that planet that it is encountering. So that is interesting because in the karmic area, that's exactly what people do when they have this number in a karmic area. Subconsciously, and this happened from when you were little with some sort of abuse or trauma, subconsciously you think that there's something really horrible about yourself. And your biggest fear is to have someone find out that you are just this horrible person. And it may or may not, it may be something that just, again, happened in your childhood that is not horrible at all, but you think it's horrible. And because of that, in every situation, or every time you're interacting with someone, you are then changing your personality, changing that side of you so that they will never find out about this terrible side to you. And so you're never your real self. You're never your authentic self. You're just whoever you need to be in whatever situation. And so this number is really, if it's in a karmic area, it's a lot about control. You're controlling everything so that no one sees the side of you. And because of all that control, your body is going to be really rigid. Also, you're going to have trouble with just your body being tight and rigid. If it's in a talent area, you're really good at, it's like the Gemini thing again. You can see both sides of a situation, and then you can, take in both of the information and then make a decision. So whereas maybe up in a karmic area, you would have trouble making a decision, but in a talent area, you can, it's easier for you to make a decision. You're also really magnetic and great at networking and just great at bringing people together. You are like the life of the party. So that's if you have it in a talent area. And also, if you have it in a talent area, you can overcome other negative areas in your chart because this number is so powerful. And if you have it in a goal, or a goal generally a goal to transform the karmic area or strengthen your talent area, is that you have to integrate all these different sides of you into one. And by doing that, you become that, you open up that magnetized side of you where you bring people to you. You're like a magnet. But you have to integrate all those sides of you first. That's the goal. And then if it's in a soul destiny, you are here to bring people together. And so you actually can bring a person, if a person is out there and that person needs to find a group or another individual, you are the one who can bring those people together. So that's if it's in a soul destiny. Some support for the 7s, just because if it's in a karmic area, like I said, it's going to be really hard for you to overcome. And you might even have to get some support if it's in a talent area too, to make sure you bring out all of the talents. But you're going to have to, the number one is you're going to have to integrate all these different sides of you. And to do that, you have to heal that side of you that, again, happened when you were in childhood, you're going to have to heal that thought, that feeling that there's something really wrong with you. There's a book that I read that I found very helpful. It's called Feeding Your Demons. And I don't know how to pronounce the author's first name, but the last name is Allione. It's Allione. I just got that off of Amazon. That was very interesting because if you don't know what your demon is, this book will help you picture it, give it a name, do all that stuff. So that's really interesting if you don't even know where to start. If you need to figure out what exactly you're dealing with. And it doesn't mean just because we're calling it a demon, that's the whole point of the book too, is that just because we're calling it a demon doesn't mean it's bad. That's the whole point, is you think it's bad. Subconsciously you think it's bad. But really, it's just a side of you that you need to lovingly integrate into one. It's another side to you. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're fighting each other right now. So I think that book would really help. Also, you may need to engage in some therapy and maybe even group therapy, because that could be a place where in a therapeutic setting, then you could really disclose those parts of you that you would never disclose to anyone else. So that may be something you might try. And also, some of us who were or are in relationships where we don't feel safe enough to disclose this to someone, that's going to be an issue, because you need safety. You need a safe relationship where you can really be exposed and they're not going to run for the hills, because obviously that's what we think, right? As soon as we say this to someone, they're going to be out of here. And I guess if that's the case, that's the case. But the goal is that you need safety in a relationship where you can disclose these things and this person is going to be there and be that safe place for you. So you do need that. You may want to keep a diary, because it's confusing sometimes after you interact with someone. Then you might ask, oh, was I trying to control this situation, or was I my real self, or what? So you may want to keep a diary to kind of log your interactions with people and find out if you're still trying to control situations by controlling your personality around people. So that also might be helpful. And like I said, your body's going to be really rigid. You've been doing this for so long, you may not even know it, and you may have to do things to release that out of your body too. And anything like yoga or Reiki, Qigong, fascia release. And since this happened, chances are this happened when you were a child, this whatever negative thought that got in your head that just took on a life of its own, you may want to try doing some things that are just sometimes a little more childlike. Doing some things that children like to do, singing, dancing, drawing, a little more laughter. That may go a long way too. That is everything about the sevens. If you would like to learn how to calculate, if you don't know what's in your soul contract chart, then I can teach you how to calculate your own soul contract chart so you can find out what your numbers are. And then you can find out about the numbers here on YouTube, or you can go to my website and you can read all about the numbers in your chart there. And then also, if you don't want to calculate your own numbers, I can calculate those for you. But the link to my website is in the description for this video.